Hi, Cody, Tampa Harley. Bringing you some new gear from a company called Rev'it. This is a partnership between Harley-Davidson and Rev'it. Rev'it is an industry leader in adventure touring gear. This gear was designed in conjunction with the Harley-Davidson Pan America that came out this year. I recently purchased a Pan America. I also purchased all the gear that you see in this video. Some of the things I'm going to talk about are my personal testimonial / opinion from using the gear, using it for riding. We are going to get some facts in here, but just know that this isn't just a sales pitch. This is, my personal take on having and using the gear for the last 2 months. If you have any questions about anything that you hear in this video, please drop them in the comments. If there's anything that you see in the next couple segments that you maybe like more information about, let us know. We'd be happy to do more videos giving you whatever information you're looking for. I bought the gear with the bike because I'm doing a trip out to California with a company called Rawhide. It's going to do it's like a 3-day, 150-mile on-road, off-road trip. I will be doing the follow-up to talk about how the gear performs off-road when I get back. If there's anything else we can do to help, please let us know and let's get started. So these are the Grit Adventure gloves. So again, partnership with Harley-Davidson. You can see the way my hands are curled. They are designed to be on handlebars, so using handlebar controls. They come with a 1-year warranty from Harley-Davidson. They do feature touchscreen compatible, like for cell phone compatible fingertips. One thing I would tell you that I learned that this morning. I hadn't practiced it before I rode, and I hadn't been successful while being at a stoplight trying to get the phone to work with the gloves on. So I'd recommend that if you pick these, definitely practice what you're going to be doing on the bike before you take off on a ride. It'll probably make the experience a little bit better. You do have some finger armor, and then you've also got knuckle armor, and then they've got some for the palms. They've got these orange loops to help pull them on. They are adjustable. They do work well with the Grit jacket. They actually go over the sleeve. Helps keep the wind out if you're using these. I personally don't like wearing gloves when it's warm. I'm usually not putting these gloves on until we're below 65 degrees because they are warm. I mean, they do move air, but they're very warm. But good on-road touring glove. I would say probably going to be fantastic off-road. We will find more out about that soon. These are the Rev'it gravel H2O boots. H2O meaning they are designed to be waterproof. They feature some shin and ankle protection. They're very hard soled. I mean, the soles are hardly flexible. Going to be a great, I would say primarily off-road boot. Perhaps if you're doing all day on-road touring, maybe a good fit. And they offer a 3-year warranty, and that's through Rev'it. If you have any questions about that, you can actually see the info page that we link in this segment, and down at the bottom of the page, it'll say warranty, and it'll drive you to get more information about that. Nice thing about these though is Velcro. So they do zip on and off, but they also put Velcro on the zipper so that it'll actually stay in place and not move around. We've also got a little bit of flexibility on the outside as well. They're pretty true to size. They do have reflection in the back of them. They do work really well with the Grit pants. They do slide, the pants actually do slide over the boots, so that all works well together. The first couple times I rode, I did have a little bit of trouble. I've got my shifter in a position that's more designed for regular riding boots and sneakers. So I was actually kind of missing some shifts on this. So I'd say if you're gonna be using these most of the time, definitely make sure you've got your shifter adjusted correctly. So these are the gravel H2O boots. So this is the Grit Adventure jacket. This jacket does feature a 3-year limited warranty. We're gonna do the features on the mannequin, and then we're gonna pull the jacket off, and I'm gonna show you how to put the 2 liners in, how to take them out, how to put them away, because there's actually some storage on the back of the jacket. So starting up front, I'll start at the sleeve. You do have vents in the arms and then in the chest. This little band right here is actually just it's a band you can tighten up the jacket if you need to, and it actually is adjustable up and down if need be, so you can kind of get it exactly dialed in the way you want. You've also got a similar strap. It's stationary, but you've got a similar strap on the arms. This is going to be important because depending on whether you have the liners in or you have bulky clothing underneath this jacket, you may need this tighter or shorter. Also, you do have a little bit of this is a snap-in adjustment on the upper sleeve. So these are just on-off. This is just an on-off zipper. This button we'll get into in a little bit. This is part of what we use for getting the other liners attached in. So this is a double pocket system. So you've got like a hand pocket here that's got a button on it. And then I think this is the most useful. These are the two most useful pockets on the pants and the jacket. It's a snap and a Velcro. So something that, especially if you're wearing the pants, the pockets that are on the thighs, if you're riding on the motorcycle, they're very tight. Once you sit down on the bike, they tighten up. So if you carry a front pocket wallet or a cell phone in your front pocket, you may want to utilize the pockets on the jacket for that. Like I keep my garage door opener and my sunglasses in these pockets. Doesn't impede anything riding, cornering, stopping, starting. Don't even know it's there. Coming across the center here, so on the neck, you actually see this is an adjustable neck. Now one thing about this is it does move pretty easily, so when I get on the bike, I'll put my helmet on. I'll usually tighten it up to a couple notches. If I turn my head to look behind me to change lanes, it will pretty naturally move on its own. If you're not somebody that likes this kind of attachment, you can snap it up out of the way. Moving to the center. So it does have a two-way zipper on it, if you can see that. So this is just the base layer, but it does have an internal pocket, some more internal pockets. I don't believe these to be water resistant or proof. This jacket in its base layer, it'll resist water a little bit, but I would say if you've got something important, it probably needs to be zipped into one of the waterproof pockets. Do you have a small exterior pocket? This might be handy for some keys or maybe something that you need quick access to while you're on the road. All right, so back of the jacket, you see reflective tape on this side, and you can actually see it on the back of the arms as well. So this is that rib cage adjuster that I was showing you on the front side, just showing you how it goes up and down. And this is something that I have been able to adjust while on a ride. I needed it to be different. Do have a left side, right side back vent. I can tell you that I had them open in cool weather, and you can definitely feel the air moving through the back of the jacket, so they definitely work. And then this is a back pocket, which we will demo for you in a segment about how to put the liner and roll it up and put it in the bag. I would say it's probably not something we've done it with the waterproof liner and the weather liner. It's a little bulky, and it's going to be a little awkward riding with that, but it may be worth the trade-off of being hot and sweaty on the road. And one thing that, just talking about this back flap, we were kind of questioning when we were getting ready for this, why the Velcro is in different directions. And the reason we think they did that is so that this doesn't have to be perfectly aligned to be able to access the Velcro to actually close up. So kind of gives you some flexibility with that as well. On the left side, we do have a pocket here, and we've got a couple little small slide-in pockets. Around the right side, or around to the left side, everything here is the same. And then we're gonna show you the vents on the back, and we're also gonna show you the pocket in the back. And now we're gonna flip over to getting the liner in and out, and just show you how to stow that away if you're mid-ride and need to take it out. Okay, so we went through the features of the jacket. I'm gonna show you, we're gonna get in a little more detail on the warm layer and the waterproof layer. The jacket by itself is not waterproof. What makes it waterproof is this layer here. Now they've done a really great job with this. It buttons, and then they've got actually a cover that covers over the zipper. So then once you get to that, this is actually the warm layer. Now you can run the warm layer by itself. You can run the waterproof layer by itself. I will just give you forewarning from personal experience. If you run the waterproof layer by itself, it will feel like a sauna if it's warm outside. So just, plan accordingly. The warm layer does have an inside snap pocket. And then I'm gonna take this out together, but I will just talk you through, to take this liner out, there are just two, there's an orange zipper here, there's an orange zipper here, and then there's a snap in the back center that attaches it to the waterproof liner. Each layer of this jacket does have one of these big orange loops. The jacket can be held off of a coat hook with these. And then as far as taking for the warm liner, to take that layer out by itself, you would just unsnap here, and then this entire liner will come out by itself. What I am going to show you is how to take the liner out as a whole, and I'll show you how you can fold it up and you can actually put it in the storage bag or the storage pouch on the back of the jacket. So I've unhooked, on the waterproof liner, there's a button here, and then there's a loop where the cuff clips around. This actually does work really well. It is really easy to take the jacket on and off. It doesn't pull the liner back through the jacket. So they did a really great job on that. I'm gonna go ahead and do that on the left arm as well. And then for the waterproof liner, we've got a zipper that runs basically all the way around the jacket. And then once you unsnap that, the layers are completely free from the jacket. So now we're gonna show you how to fold this up and put it in the back of the jacket, and then we will show you how to put this back in the jacket. Okay, so we have our waterproof layer and our base layer. This takes a little bit of practice, and we may have to do this more than once. It's kind of a very specific, this is something where you're gonna have to fold it. The pocket is kind of not happy if it's rolled up. I'm sure that you could get it smaller than this, but it's not. Practiced this 3 or 4 times yesterday, and this was about the best we came up with. You can get it a little bit more snug. We could have done another roll, and it will snap. I have ridden with it in the bag. It's not ideal with both liners in it. If you have some way to stow luggage, I would probably recommend that. If you were just going to if you just needed the waterproof liner to be in the back pouch, that might work a little better, but this is pretty bulky. Now that we've taken our liner out, it's time to put it back in. I like to put the warm liner and the waterproof liner back in as a pair. I like to take them out as one, put them in as one. This is kind of the reverse of what you saw as far as how we take it out. We start by pulling the sleeves through. And then easiest thing that I found is find the snap that clips in there and start there. And you'll see on this, we run the orange snap around, and then we snap it to the black one for the warm liner, so that snaps it together. There may be a different way to do that, but this is the best way that I've found. Now we move over to the other side, and same process. Find and locate your snap for the mid sleeve, and then orange loop and flap and button. Now we're good on that. And these are getting the jacket on and off. Definitely leave these open. It's a little challenging when they're closed. So now that we've got our sleeves in, we're going to start on the right side. And this is a really small zipper, so I would just say make sure you don't get the fabric from the inside of the jacket or the waterproof liner stuck in itself. I've been pretty lucky so far, but I could see if you were trying to rush it, you could probably end up tearing the zipper out of it or ripping up one of the liners. So that is it. One thing you'll have to do, and that I have found is kind of a challenge with the warm liner, is that it doesn't attach in the bottom or the sides. So typical of a jacket that has a liner, once you put this on, you're gonna have to adjust this around to actually have it sitting on your body correctly. But exceptionally warm, and it pairs well with the rest of the gear that we have. I feel pretty comfortable that I could use the gear that we just talked about, and you could go well below 40 degrees and without heated gear. All right, so these are the Grit Adventure pants. Just like the jacket, they do feature a 3-year limited warranty. we'll start on the right side. So this does have a top entry pocket. It does have some fold over on it, so I think that's just to help protect dust, dirt, keeping stuff in the pocket. One thing I did mention in the intro video to this, or in the jacket video, is that if anything that's bulky that you would normally carry in the front pockets of your jeans, you're going to want to utilize the jacket pockets for that, because these get real tight whenever you're on the bike, and they're not very accessible unless you're standing up. So just keep that in mind if you're using these pockets. You do have vents. You do have leg vents on both sides, so they work pretty well. Just like the Adventure jacket, it does have a waterproof and a weather liner. It's not been cold enough for me to run either one of those, so I can't speak to those quite now, but we will try to cover that in a follow-up video. I'm going to spin them around. So getting these on and off is actually pretty straightforward. Most likely you're going to have to take your shoes or boots off, but they do slide out pretty easily. I did use these with the Adventure boots, and they slide right over. You've got a lot of adjustability here too, so if you wanted to really cinch these down, you can, to kind of reduce the bulk if you're wearing tennis shoes or some smaller boots. You also do see the reflection on the side. This is going to be really nice for the side conspicuity. When you're riding down the road and maybe you've got somebody oncoming to you, that's going to help make you very visible. We're going to turn the light off so you can actually see a little bit better, and you'll actually get a little bit of the jacket too, the side view of the reflective material that they use. Okay, so a couple other things. There is another little pocket here that I forgot to mention. And so on and off is pretty easy. It's just a slide, so it just slides in. And then they've got waist adjusters, so depending on what your base layer is. I sized up on these pants because I plan on most of my riding is going to be commuting back and forth to work, so I'll be wearing jeans under them. I would recommend, though, definitely try them on when you get ready to purchase with whatever you think you're going to be using primarily. They're probably going to work the best with compression shorts or pants. I think you'd be able to get a more true size. I would rather them be one size smaller, but I don't think I'd be able to wear them with regular jeans. A couple other things about them too. I'm riding them and I'm using the Sundowner accessory seat. The actual top material on the Sundowner is a little bit different from the stock seat. The stock seat's a little more grippy. You can't slide back and forth on the seat, forward and back. The Sundowner being a little bit slicker of a seat combined with the material of the pants. If you're doing a lot of cornering or starting and stopping, you're going to probably find that you have a little bit of a hard time getting and staying comfortable, because you're constantly moving around. Once you're steady, maybe on cruise control on the highway, you can definitely get that sorted out. But you will notice you're going to be using some different muscles to stabilize that you may not be used to if this is a new riding style or a new gear to you. One thing too about putting these pants on, they have a tendency, so they're kind of tough because they're designed to protect you. They are level 2 CE armor in them. But when you're going to be sitting, you're going to feel like you're sitting like the bike sits a little higher, because you've got to spread out a little wider to actually sit on the seat with those pants on. Not necessarily a good or bad thing, just something I would practice putting the gear on, especially the pants, and if you're wearing the boots, whatever you're riding in, getting on and off the bike, especially if you're in kind of a challenging, maybe you're on a hill or on a grate, something where it's not normal flat your garage. I would definitely practice that stuff before you do it, because I definitely figured out getting on and off the bike with these pants on. I've got the sport saddlebags on it. I normally swing my leg over the bags, and you actually kind of have to put your foot on the passenger or on their left side peg and slide your foot over. If that's not something that you're used to, it could be a situation where you might drop the bike if you do it, if you're not paying attention. So just, with anything gear-wise that's going to affect, how you maneuver, I would strongly urge or recommend that you try it out in a controlled setting before you actually get on the road and go for a ride.